What if the one thing you trust to protect your health is actually giving you less protection than you think, and no one is telling you? Imagine walking into a pharmacy, rolling up your sleeve, and feeling confident that you've just done something smart for your future. You leave thinking you're covered, thinking you've taken responsibility, thinking you've made the right choice for yourself and your family. But what if, without realizing it, you've just chosen an outdated version, a weaker version, a version that simply isn't built for your body anymore? Let me be very clear from the beginning. This is not about fear. This is not about rejecting medicine. And this is definitely not about conspiracy theories. In fact, it's the complete opposite. This is about understanding how fast modern science is evolving and making sure you're actually benefiting from it. Because here's the truth most people never hear. Medicine doesn't stand still. What was considered the best option 10 or 20 years ago is often no longer the best option today. And yet, millions of people are still receiving those older versions, not because they are the best, but because they are the default. And the difference between default and optimal can be life-changing. If you are over the age of 60, your body is not the same as it was at 30. Your immune system doesn't respond the same way. It doesn't react as quickly. It doesn't remember threats as strongly. It needs more support, not less. And yet, many of the standard options being handed out today were originally designed with a younger, faster immune system in mind. That's the gap. That's the hidden problem. And that's what we're going to fix right now. Think about it like this. Years ago, people used flip phones. They worked. You could make calls, send messages, and get by just fine. But today, no one would choose a flip phone over a modern smartphone. Not because the flip phone is broken, but because something far better exists. That exact same shift has happened in medicine. There are newer, more advanced, more effective options available right now, designed specifically for older adults, designed to create stronger, longer-lasting protection, designed to work with your body as it is today, not as it was decades ago. But unless you ask for them, you may never receive them. And that's where most people make the mistake. They assume that all options are equal. They assume that what they're given is automatically the best. They assume that a vaccine is just a vaccine. But the truth is, not all protection is created equal. Not even close. There is an entire concept in medicine that explains why this matters so much as we age. It's called the natural weakening of the immune response over time. But instead of thinking about it in technical terms, let's make it simple. Picture your immune system as a security guard. When that guard is young, he's fast, alert, and sharp. If something suspicious shows up, he reacts immediately. He studies it, remembers it, and is ready for it next time. But as the years pass, that same guard slows down. He's still experienced. He's still capable. But he needs clearer signals. He needs stronger warnings. He needs better tools to do the same job. Now imagine giving that older guard a blurry photograph of a threat and expecting him to react perfectly. That's what some older medical approaches are doing. They're giving your immune system signals that are too weak, too vague, or too outdated to trigger a strong response. And as a result, the protection you think you have may not actually hold up when it matters most. This is why newer approaches have been developed. Not just to replace the old ones, but to improve them in a meaningful way. Instead of whispering to your immune system, they speak loudly. Instead of giving it a vague image, they give it a clear, attention-grabbing signal. Instead of relying on short-term memory, they help build long-term defense. And that difference can determine whether you stay healthy through a difficult season or end up dealing with something far more serious. Take a moment and think about how many people believe they are fully protected, only to find themselves in a hospital bed months later. It's not because they didn't try. It's not because they were careless. It's because they were using an older level of protection in a world that has already moved forward. And that's the key idea you need to understand. This is not about doing more. It's about doing better. The good news is the better options already exist. They are available. They are accessible. And in many cases, they are already recommended by updated medical guidelines. The only missing piece is awareness. Once you know what to ask for, everything changes. Instead of passively accepting whatever is offered, you become an active participant in your own health. You ask questions. You make informed choices. You ensure that what you receive is actually aligned with your needs. And that shift in mindset is powerful. Because at the end of the day, no one cares more about your health than you do. And while doctors and healthcare providers play a critical role, they're also human. They follow routines. They rely on systems. And sometimes, those systems don't update as quickly as the science does. That's why your voice matters. That's why knowing the right questions matters. That's why understanding the difference between old and new matters. Because when you combine modern science with informed decision-making, you give yourself the best possible chance to stay strong, stay independent, and stay out of situations that could have been prevented. Now, let's talk about something even more important. Protection is not just about you. It's about the people around you. It's about your family, your friends, your grandchildren, the people who trust you, who rely on you, who feel safe around you. There are situations where the right protection doesn't just keep you healthy. It protects someone else who may not have the same level of defense. And that responsibility is something many people don't realize until it's too late. A simple action, a small decision, a few minutes of your time can be the difference between safety and risk for someone you love. That's how powerful this is. And that's why this conversation matters so much. Because once you understand how to choose the right version, once you understand how to match the protection to your age and your needs, once you understand how to avoid the outdated defaults, you put yourself in a completely different position. You're no longer just reacting. You're leading. You're making choices based on knowledge, not assumption. You're using the best tools available, not the most convenient ones. And that's exactly what modern healthcare is supposed to be. Not passive, not outdated, not one size fits all, but precise, updated, and tailored to you. So the next time you're sitting in a clinic or standing at a pharmacy counter, don't rush. Don't assume. Don't stay silent. Pause for a moment. Ask what version you're being given. Ask if there is a newer option. Ask if there is something designed specifically for your age group, because those questions can lead to better answers. And those answers can lead to better outcomes. At the end of the day, getting older is something we all go through. It's a natural part of life. But how we protect ourselves as we age, that's a choice. You can rely on outdated methods and hope they're enough. Or you can step into the present, use what science has already built, and give yourself the strongest possible protection moving forward. The tools are there. The knowledge is now in your hands. And sometimes, the smallest shift in awareness creates the biggest difference in results. Stay informed. Stay proactive. And most importantly, make choices that reflect the best of what modern medicine has to offer. Because your health deserves nothing less.